On the cold and crowded streets of New York, everyone was in a rush. People were walking in a hurry, taxis were honking, the windows of luxury stores were sparkling. However, in the middle of all this chaos, a little boy that no one noticed was quietly crouching on the ground. Although his old clothes, worn-out coat, and holey shoes did not attract attention, the drawings he made with his shaky hands on the papers in front of him showed that he belonged to a different world. He was immersed in the pictures he was drawing, working on each detail with great care. No one knew at that moment, but the drawing this little boy made would leave an unforgettable mark on a man's life, and that man would become one of the most famous names in the world, Donald Trump. He saw that drawing and stunned. Trump decided to take a short walk in the city despite his busy schedule. Nothing around him caught his attention as he walked. However, just as he was passing in front of a luxury store, a little boy sitting on the ground caught his eye. Normally, such scenes were seen frequently in the city, but there was something different about this boy. There was no one around him. He wasn't asking anyone for money. He was just drawing with his head down, very carefully. Trump paused for a moment. He thought about quickly passing by, but his eyes caught the boy's drawing. There was a skyscraper in the picture. No, not just any skyscraper, Trump Tower. He couldn't suppress his curiosity and crouched down next to the boy. "Hello, what are you doing?" he asked. When the boy looked up at him, Trump felt his heart tighten. There was so much in those eyes: sadness, hope, and an indescribable silence. "I'm drawing, sir." Trump looked at the picture more carefully. A man was standing right in front of the skyscraper, and that man's face was Trump himself. But what really shocked him was the writing underneath the picture, "Give us a chance." He had a hard time holding back tears. Trump couldn't say a word for a while. He felt a lump in his throat. He took a deep breath and asked the boy, "Why did you draw this picture?" The boy looked away and spoke in a low voice. "My mother always said you were a great man. But for me, being a great man is not just about building buildings, it means touching hearts. That's why I drew you. My mother always said, if Trump noticed us, maybe he would help us too." Trump felt the emotions inside him start to overflow. A child was giving him the biggest message of his life in the purest way. "Can you show me your mother?" he asked gently. The child nodded and pointed to the small cafe ahead. Without hesitation, Trump took the child's hand and walked towards the cafe together. The truth came out. When they entered the cafe, a tired but elegant woman was sitting at the table drinking tea. She smiled when she saw her child next to her, but when she noticed Trump, she jumped up in surprise. "Mr. Trump, is this real?" Trump saw the fear and surprise in the woman's eyes. He said softly, "Hello, madam, I just met your son. You are raising a very talented artist." The woman nodded, her eyes filled with tears. She always draws, but it's not just a talent, it's a reflection of the emotions she keeps inside. When Trump looked at the woman more closely, he realized there was a great struggle behind her tired eyes, and then he learned the story. The woman had lost her husband years ago and was struggling to survive with her son. The jobs she had were inadequate, they had lost their home and were now temporarily staying with a friend. But the hardest part was not losing hope. "Your son's picture told me everything," Trump said, his voice trembling a little, "and I want to help you." Everything changed in an instant. Trump immediately gave his team instructions. He found the woman a good job at one of his hotels. He provided the child with a scholarship to study art. He also provided an apartment, ensuring that the mother and son had a warm home. Days later, a new painting hung in Trump's office, a little boy's drawing of a man in front of Trump Tower. And whoever came to Trump's office and looked at that painting, Trump would tell them one thing: real success is not how many buildings you build, it's how many lives you change. And that day, a little boy changed a whole world with just one drawing.